Ever since 2017, when we bought our big school bus and started turning into a tiny house, I've been secretly obsessing about other vehicles for conversion. I think it might be the plight of every schoolie builder, the temptation to start again in a new platform, correct any mistakes that you made, or just do the experience again, as painful and torturous as it is for most people. And we just happened across the perfect location to explore a ton of incredible vehicles, most of them old, but all of them charming and unique. We are in a junkyard in the middle of Idaho. I shouldn't even call it a junkyard because it's mostly full of classic vehicles. And I want to talk to you about all the sorts of vehicles that you could convert, that you could live in, and the pros and cons of each of them. So if you're shopping for a van, if you're shopping for a bus or a box truck, stick around and I'm gonna show you what we find. No, but what is that? Is that your own personal race car?
No.
Look at this incredible vintage step van delivery truck. What is this thing, guys? Oh my gosh, it actually was a camper. This thing is currently good to go. Look what happens when you put good quality plywood in your bus. It lasts forever. I think this is an incredible example of an early conversion of some kind of a work or a delivery vehicle. This old Ford has a really high roof, solid, comfortable interior. When you have a nice boxy interior like that, you've got the perfect volume for building out a conversion, which brings us to this next one, a step van. Now the step van is a great vehicle for converting. There's a ton of them, boxy, high volume interior. They often have a really high roof, especially the newer vehicles. The main con to the step van is that they have these sliding delivery doors that are really not made to do highway miles. And they have these seats and interiors that are generally uncomfortable to drive long term. You sort of have to mitigate that, which this person has done by installing their own metal door. Now they have better interior for road noise, etc. Now the problem with this one right here is that the ceiling is too low. These days when you're buying step vans, they've got much higher ceilings. But in terms of a low cost entry point to a vehicle that has a great interior space, the step van, especially if you're not going to be doing a around the world road trip, is a super good platform for a conversion. All right, let's talk about the Instagram classic. You can live an incredible life in a van. People have actually been doing it for a long, long time, and they did it in a myriad of vehicles. Now, in my opinion, if you get a van long term, you're gonna live in it, you want a ceiling that you can stand up in. Believe it or not, lots of old vintage campers had high roofs installed on them. You basically just cut the roof off and put a fiberglass camper top. But look at this, I can stand up in here. And this conversion is actually dope. Let me show it to you. We've got these leather curved cabinets. Come on, that is nice. Are you kidding me? Look at the hardware on that. That is some craftsmanship right there. In the middle, you've got a mirrored, oh my gosh, that is tight. That is a beautiful piece of work. They continue back here with that nice leather details. Oh, a van, old or new, is an incredible conversion. You can live in it in so many locations. If you can kit it out to suit your needs, whether or not it's a new Transit, Sprinter, or ProMaster, or if it's a Westphalia pop top on a VW Vanagon, or it's an old Ford or Dodge with a fiberglass top. You need a high top in your van.
I don't live in an old bus.
Is our bus too new for you? Oh, okay. Now, in my opinion, a major step up from the camper van is actually a camper on top of a van chassis. And we have an incredible vintage version of that right here. Let's check this thing out. It actually seems like a truck camper built onto a van. So when you get a camper built onto a camper van, it actually ends up, whoa, giving you, oh God, a ton more living space without actually taking up much more room. I mean, this is basically an extended body van, but you've got, this is so gross to be honest, but you got a bed over the cab. You've got a whole kitchen, probably a little kitchen dinette at some point. You even have space for some kind of a bathroom and storage as well. I'm not gonna open up this fridge, it's probably disgusting inside. But a step up from the camper van is the camper on top of a van. Ta-da! And look, it's just a van. That was so much roomier than that really cool high top van, but it's the same platform. It's incredible.
shower and bed and oven and table and cotton back.
What's that?
Cotton back.
All right, stepping up from the camper van that is on a van, we have a 24-foot vintage Class A RV. The interior space for 24 feet inside of this thing is actually kind of incredible. Found over in there and we're gonna show it to you. What do you think about this place?
Well, it's the perfect size. This makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but I guess it's the added benefit of having a second bed, right?
You probably flip these down. This goes all the way to the dashboard.
Are you kidding? Okay, so my feelings on this space is that the layout is perfect. You could easily put 3 or 4 people here. You have extended counter space, double sink, full stove and oven, storage galore, fridge, freezer. I think this is a pantry. And then you have a shower and a toilet. It even already has toilet paper in there. Plus you have vanity. An extra sink is just like excess.
Luxuries.
Yeah, and then this massive king-size bed space.
The vintage 24-foot Class A RV. Not that this thing has an engine that will take you anywhere for less than 4 miles per gallon of gasoline. We all need to take showers after this. Now this of course is one of the major downsides to a vintage RV, and that is they are made out of absolute junk. What is this? You can't drive around in something that's made out of wood, fiberglass, and aluminum. Sorry, just wood and fiberglass? I bet you I could drive a car straight through this, just pew! On the other hand, the school bus, nothing but steel. This thing is a steel behemoth. You could roll this school bus on its head and it wouldn't even change its shape. Roll this thing on its head, game over. So right next to the Class A, a Class C RV is basically built onto a truck chassis, and it usually features this cab over the truck design. They are usually smaller, more maneuverable, and they have this bed over the driver's seat situation, but I think they look kind of uncool from the outside.
Come here, my little puppy, I'll carry you. Come here, little pup.
So inside the Class C RV, the bed over the driver's and passenger seats, really high ceiling in here, believe it or not. The bed that probably turns into a extra sleeping situation. And you got the bathroom in the back. Not too shabby. I mean, if it wasn't extremely old and disgusting. We got old dog-nosed bluebird. Really big old RV slider. This thing's actually halfway decent, or was. That's some special carpet right there. You have a lot of built-in cabinetry here from the 70s or 80s. You got the vented fridge. They had a real RV fridge in here. Old thermostat. They probably got a propane heater in here somewhere. Back in the day, this was probably a decent conversion. By today's standards, a little outdated. The Chessmaster 4000. Making money on the internet. How did you make money on the internet in 1997? This guy probably made it. This guy's probably number 7 at Google right now. Alright, next up we have the travel trailer. I don't think these things are cool, but the more that we're on the road, the more that I see them, and the more that I start to understand why they are useful, especially for families, because you can tow them with a truck or SUV or van, and then you can detach and go explore things. Let's check out this super old travel trailer. I don't even think I can walk in this thing. But you can tow a whole house behind you. You can tow a really big one, and because of the trailer hitch, it's not that impossible to maneuver once you get used to it. And you can detach and live your life. Right here we have an absolutely massive vintage trailer. This thing actually got pulled by something. Oh shoot. Oh god. Oh gosh. Oh, that bird. Oh gosh. So I'm on a solo mission now. I gotta find all the potential conversion vehicles for you guys, and I just saw one that I've been looking for a while. Let's go check it out. So first of all, you're often starting with a really powerful, robust frame, cab, tire, engine setup. So this is what you can do with the back. You could build your own frame out of aluminum and kit it out. I don't recommend that. That sounds like unnecessary work. What you could also do is you can take a travel trailer and you can stick it on top of here. I mean, this requires some engineering. You could even have a removable camper, and people have done this, especially with overlanding rigs. You've got a removable camper on the back of a super robust flatbed truck. Maybe it's even got 4-wheel drive, and you can take this thing everywhere. And then when you're done with it, you can even take it off and you've got a flatbed truck to use for your farm or your junkyard. Most people, that's not gonna make any sense. For some people, they're gonna be like, yo, flatbed trucks are sweet. Oh, I gotta see this fire truck, guys. That right there is a sweet old fire truck. You've got your hard suction here. Hose would have gone up there. Looks like we got a pre-connect right here. I love that. You got this pre-connected hose bed. Grab it right here, shoulder it, pull it to the fire, put it out. Kinda miss firefighting, to be honest. Yo, look at this. Checker, GMC Checker. Wow. So you've also got ambulance conversions. There's lots of old military vehicles that could be turned into homes. Ice cream truck conversion, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Could you do it? Could you live in here? I think you could make a sweet little camper. The box truck conversion. I've been thinking about the box truck for a while now. You already have this really high roof box to build in. Inside, you have a totally massive interior volume space. You already have spots that you can fur out and insulate. You've got headroom that you can insulate as well. If you're really thinking about a school bus roof raise, reskinning the sidewalls, and then installing RV windows, yeah, you might like that aesthetically, or it might be even better than this, but as a cheap platform to start with, you can't really beat this. It's got a high roof, you can cut in your own RV windows, and it has a lot of volume because it's a big box. Box truck conversion, it's worth a thought. Try and get one with a pass-through too, like this, so you can pass through from the cab into the body. So the magic of the school bus conversion is that for $3,000 to $7,000, you can get yourself a used school bus in great condition, and you can make everything that you could out of any other of these pre-made conversions in your own bus. Start it from scratch, and you can learn so many life skills that will come in handy. Now, as a platform, look, sometimes you have a really high ceiling. You do have a cab, so to speak, that could be completely integrated with your interior. You can do any number of things to a school bus, and it is also built out of extremely robust steel, so you don't have any of the qualms of the RV or the trailers. Long term, they're kind of junk. School bus is not. A school bus is going to protect you in a crash, and it's going to last for a long time. If you watch this channel, you already know all about school bus conversions. I don't have to preach to you, but I wanted you to know that as I walk through this old graveyard, there's a lot of cool stuff, but if you're going to build your own, I haven't found a platform that's better than the school bus yet. I really haven't. It might exist though. I'm still looking. So if you guys like videos about turning vehicles into things that you can live in, or campers, hit that subscribe button. You're gonna see more about that topic from us. If you like this video, hit the like button. There's way more options out there. I'm gonna find all of them for you. I'm gonna discover them. We're gonna figure out the pros and cons. We're gonna figure out what is the best vehicle for converting. For me right now, it's still the school bus. If you guys like this video, you will probably enjoy this video I made a couple weeks ago where I tore 10 vintage buses that were converted into campers in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. Watch that coming up on the end card. I think you're gonna like it. Thank you for watching.